What's going on, everybody? Happy
What's up?
Wednesday. Welcome to the Get the Bag podcast. We're at episode 13. Very special episode. Lucky 13, I like to say. I'm your host, Gladia Castro. Got my co host, Tim Park.
Hey,
I'm
fam.
super excited for today's episode. Super excited. But before
100%.
we get into our guest, don't forget to subscribe, like this channel, like this video. It always helps with the algorithm. Um, but today's guest is a very special guest. Our first female guest took long enough. Been trying to get more of my ladies out here. Um,
Mhm.
this special guest, she's very special. Um, I think she's gone through a lot,
Yeah.
and really depicts the American dream, which is kind of why we kind of add that to our title. Our
Mhm.
guest was born and raised in Brazil, super passionate about her faith, her family, moved to the United States in 97 to pursue a
Mhm.
dream of learning English. But little did she know that kind of turned into her entrepreneurial journey. And she's a proud mother of Isaac, her son Isaac, who's 14, full-time entrepreneur, runs her hair salon, event space, and buys houses. So she's just amazing, and I think she mentioned she's working on a book, and I'm really excited to talk
Mhm.
about that. Let's welcome Anna Moraes. I want to make sure I say it right. Redfearn. Did I say it right?
Yes, you said it right.
Perfect.
So,
I don't
Welcome,
want to botch it.
welcome.
Welcome to
good
the
morning.
podcast. How are you feeling? How you doing?
I feel great. I feel nervous, but I feel great. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good morning, fam.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Yeah,
We're
with
excited to have you.
thank you, Tim. Thank you,
Very
Gladys.
excited. Yeah, of course. So as we always like to ask our guests, like tell us a little bit about yourself. I did kind of give a little background, but what sort of inspired this entrepreneurial, maybe we can start with that. Going from living in Brazil, moving in 97, kind of starting your life, but what kind of triggered the entrepreneurial journey?
Okay, so hi everybody. I'm Anna. I am from Brazil, like Gladia said. Thank you guys. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I am so proud of you guys. You guys are doing amazing things. I love your podcast and changing lives and dropping gems on a weekly basis. So it's an honor to be here with you guys. So thank you. I'm humbled to share a little bit of me, of my story. So yes, I was born and raised in Brazil. Grew up very poor, but filled with love. I had a great family.
Mhm.
So, whew, long story, but I'm trying to make it
Yeah, no
short.
worries.
All good.
So, in Brazil, growing up, I didn't have that many opportunities, but I started working my first job with a company in Brazil, and the president of the company, he spoke 5 languages, so there was a great exposure for me. It triggered something in my mind like, I want to learn another language. I want to learn how to speak English. So I had that desire. I was very young, and the statistic how would I obtain,
Mhm.
to learn the language, and didn't have really that much resources. But anyway, so the company sponsored an English class for me in Brazil. It was very hard because I didn't have anybody to practice with. And make a long story short, two ladies from United States moved to Brazil to develop, some products, Dudley products, cosmetology products. And I was introduced to them by the president of the company. And immediately I knew that there was an opportunity for me. Sometimes we come across those opportunities, but we really don't get a hold of it. But I knew that I had prayed, I had asked God, and boom, 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 he connected me with these two ladies. And I said, hey, can I move to the United States with you guys? I would like to learn English fluently. So that that's how it started. So I moved here.
Mm.
I moved here in 1997. I didn't have a job. I didn't have the language. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a career, no college degree, just drive. just the desire, just the faith. And so I moved here and I didn't have a seat at the table. So I had to
Mm,
create my table. So
mm,
that's when
I
I
love that.
started making flyers. I was, I took English as a second language at a community college here. I was walking everywhere. I didn't have a driver's license. So just hustling. I'm a
mhm.
hustler.
Love it.
The fact that they opened up their house, they're Terry and Sherry, they're two sisters. They gave me the opportunity. I was supposed to stay here for 6 months. Little did I know that God had greater plans for me. I am a woman of faith. I love God. I love
Mhm.
my family. Um, well, I forgot to say that I am a mom. I'm a single mom. I have a son. His name is Isaac, and I love him. I love him.
Hey, shout out to Isaac.
Shout out to my
Shout out to
baby.
Isaac.
Thank you. So I start hustling. I was cleaning houses. I had flyers. I made it in a computer. I was knocking on doors, cleaning houses, and I got a job at the grocery store as a cashier, doing all that as a tourist. I came here as a
Mm,
tourist.
Mm,
wow.
So it has been a very interesting journey. I had to lean completely on God. That's all I had, but I knew that He would get me through. He would honor my desires and He would be right there with me. And He has been just that. So um, then I start seeing the opportunities here. As a cashier, I start seeing people's nails and how they were into their looks. And I said, wow, I need to get another visa to stay here a little longer. So I signed up for nail school. I got a
mm,
student visa. I became a nail technician. And then my visa was about to expire again. And then I reapplied for cosmetologist. So I became a cosmetologist out of solution, trying to resolve my own problems with immigration.
mhm,
And then God started showing me the gifts that I had it in me, was to connect with people. And I started understanding entrepreneurship. So here I am today, full-time entrepreneur. And just, I just shoot my shot. I had to, my mentality, my mindset was back then, it has to work.
mhm,
You
Right.
know, I had told my family, they thought I was crazy. How are you gonna leave Brazil to go to a whole nother country? You don't know these people. What you gonna do there? I said, listen, I have to try. You're gonna miss all the shots that you did not take. So I
mhm.
said, if something happens, I come back home. But I knew in my heart that that was it for me.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I started meeting new people, and gosh, it has been amazing. I've had so many trials and tribulations, but I am standing, and my faith has supported me. So it's from cosmetologists and building my clientele to 10 years later, I got married. I was married for 11 years.
Mhm.
So, am I saying too much? Do you want?
No, go this is
no,
your
it's good.
story.
Keep
Go
going.
ahead.
So,
Yeah.
I was married for 11 years. It was a great marriage, but towards the end of my marriage, things were going south, and I had to make a decision. I said, "Hey, listen, no, that's not what I want. That's I deserve. I knew my worth. So
Mhm,
Mm,
I had a son. So unfortunately, during my separation, our divorce was heading to a very uh, it wasn't gonna be pretty. But
yeah.
anyway, I was committed. I was committed to my dreams. I was committed to what I came here for. One thing about me, I'm very focused. I'm very consistent, and I know what I want, and I just hustle for it.
Mhm,
So I knew that starting over, I've been here before. So I got my son, and
right.
I said, "Hey, we're gonna get this thing we're gonna get this thing moving." So after a year separated, my husband fortunately became sick and passed away
mhm,
unexpectedly.
Mm,
So there was a huge loss for me and my son. During the separation, I lost my house, which was um, it was facing foreclosure is something that I don't wish on nobody. Losing a marriage, losing the house, and then Jay passed away.
mm,
So life became like it was a tornado all at
mhm,
once. But that's how I got to real estate.
Mm.
Mm. Right.
Yeah. That
It all
was
happens for a reason, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
in a weird
100%.
way. And I mean, when your back is against the wall, we talk about this a lot too, right? When you literally have no options but to commit to yourself, right? And like
Mhm.
your goals, your vision, something special happens when that it's when things are when we're comfortable and like we have a like we talk about if you have a job where it's like things are consistent, like that's where we kind of level out, right? We tap out. We don't look up and see the opportunities, but you in like kind of you've had to do this twice almost in like
yeah,
Mhm.
transitioning from leaving Brazil to the United States and your family telling you like, "What are you doing? Like, don't you
Yeah.
want to be here
yeah.
where you're
Lost my
comfortable
mind.
or whatever?" Like, yeah, and that I think we all have that in some ways when we're trying to start a business and we have family being like, "What are you doing?" It's always like, "What are you doing?" Like questioning us because they never had the commitment to want to maybe chase their dreams. And then, you go through this really tough time of
Mhm.
hardship where literally it's just you and your son and you're like, I gotta make it happen.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you have no options and you did that. So I think like that's a huge just you just doing that is like huge success, is making something happen out of nothing practically.
Yeah.
yeah, and you're right. And literally, life. This is how I see it. How bad do you want it? How
Yeah.
bad
Right.
do you really want it? This is just we're here temporarily. This is it. Like Michael
Mhm.
Jackson used to say, "This is it tour." What you
Mhm.
gonna do?
Right. Right.
When I met Terry and Sherry in Brazil, it was like, okay, I am I'm a black woman. I'm young, poor. What are the chances that I'm gonna find someone willing to let me stay in their house in the United States?
Right. Right.
Mm,
It's here,
Right.
it's now or never.
Yeah.
So I said,
right.
I'm going. So
Yeah.
my family literally thought I was like, what is she talking about? How are you
Yeah.
gonna do that?
Some
You do
people
know
wouldn't have done it.
are you
Yeah.
crazy? You
Exactly.
don't have a job.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't have a place to stay. But my faith was stronger than my fears.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
Oh, that's a
deep.
bar right
That's
there.
deep. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
my
bar right
faith,
there.
it was literally, I felt like God has given me an anesthesia that I was not feeling my decision. I was
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna
Mm.
go. It was like Abraham type of situation. I'm gonna go to
Mhm.
another country, to another culture. But let me tell you, I got to know Anna that I didn't know existed in Brazil,
Mm.
Mm.
because pain produces power, pressure.
Mm.
That's
Right.
how
Mm.
a diamond
Exactly.
comes up, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
So I was like, man, I guys, I couldn't even understand what these people were talking about. I used to cry at night. I said, what have
Mhm.
I done when I got here? I said,
Right.
Right.
oh my gosh, what are my friends? What is my family? But and then every day God was peeling a layer. Like I was getting to know my strength. I was getting
Mhm.
working on my mindset, on persistency and I had immigration that I was dealing with,
Right.
trying to find some a way to make money. But and then I was comfortable in Brazil, but here it was
That's
I
what I
had to
mean.
I
No,
had
you
to
had to
come
totally
like with
start
my
over.
A game.
Mhm.
But I was fully
Yeah.
frustrated. I was like, my mindset was, I was so focused. I said, I cannot mess this up,
Mhm.
So, of
Mhm.
course, people will come and offer things, and there were distractions that were thrown at me. I said, nah, nah, that ain't for me. No, I did not
Yeah.
come here for that.
Exactly.
I had told my
Exactly.
mom, I said, don't worry about me. I'm not going to come back home broke. That I know.
Mhm.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
I am truly grateful that I have met some amazing people. I was connected with a wonderful church. Shout out to Bishop Hash and Lady Joyce that spoke into my life. I maintained some strong relationships. And like, when I was losing my house, I'm gonna go over that real quick. When I was
Yeah,
losing
go ahead.
my house, um, two friends of mine said, "Hey, Anna, I heard about because some people knew close to me what I was going through. So they were like, Anna, I've heard about a meeting that is happening downtown that people talk about houses and buying houses and maybe somebody will buy the house, so you won't have to go through foreclosure. I said, oh, okay, I'll go. It was a meetup with Maxwell, right here in
Mm.
Winston-Salem.
Nice.
And I found out that's how I met Coach Chris too. Shout out to the U.
Yep.
Shout
That's how I
out,
met.
Yes.
shout out.
That's how I met Chris Jefferson in one of Max's meetups as well. So I got to the meeting. They were talking about houses and investors and flips and all that. And my hope was to find somebody to buy the house and resolve my problem. But I didn't know I had title issues with the property and the lien. So and my husband had just passed away, and it was crazy. The house could not be purchased, so I lost the house. But
Mm.
I had to go through that, y'all. I had to go through that foreclosure to get to that
Mhm.
meetup, to then go to a real estate conference in Dallas. When I got home, I said, that sounds like an interesting business. They're just flipping contracts. Oh, I gotta
Mhm.
learn
Right.
that. So
Mhm.
I got me a plane ticket and I went to the wholesale meetup. It was a conference in Dallas. First meetup there, I
Right.
think, conference that Max had. Chris was actually one of the speakers. So I sat in that conference by myself, just me, Faith, and Hustle. And I started learning. I said, wow. So I can just find a distress property, find the seller,
Mhm.
and connect them with a cash buyer and get the check. Oh, I'm gonna learn it. So I came back from Dallas, got in my car, start driving through the neighborhood,
Driving for dollars.
and
Right.
boom, every day I was doing every day I was doing that. I didn't have no systems, I was just driving. Found this property near the house that I lost.
Mm.
Called the seller, called the heir, left
Mhm.
several messages. That took 3 months. And he called me back and he said, it was something about your voice message that, I get calls all the time from people that want to buy houses, but it was something about your message, young lady. I would like to meet with you at the house. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just calling people messages. I said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Met him there, and I called one of the investors in town, people, somebody that was already in a business. I said, hey, can you help me with this property? Somebody is motivated and he wants to meet me there. So met, the gentleman there at the house, and he accepted the offer, put the house on the contract. And I said, what do I do now? He was like, you got to find a buyer. So obviously I didn't have the money, of course, to buy the house. So the buyer was next to the house. You know who were they? They
Hmm.
were it was a what you call it, developer. They're developing new houses. I took a picture of that sign, called the office. I said, hey, I see you guys building houses on this street, and I have a property that I'm interested in. I have a contract for sale. Are you interested? And they said, yeah, we'll meet with you. And there was my seller next to the,
Mm.
and that was my first deal.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like
Wow.
I mean, your story just from coming from Brazil to here, starting your own business. I mean, several businesses. I mean, just from cleaning to salon, nails to now real estate, and it's just an amazing testimony to your resilience, your hustle, and your strive to succeed. And I think a lot of people don't understand as immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself, and it's a different kind of mentality of survival, I guess, because you're coming from a different country. I
Yeah.
saw it in my mom,
Same.
and they would do we would do anything, take any job to try to make it in U.S. Some people don't realize that they haven't even left the state that they're in here,
Right.
right?
Right.
People are
Wow,
coming from other countries to make it in the United States. And
I'm
some
telling you,
people here won't leave the state and let alone get into something entrepreneurship. Like they're scared to even do that. Like so
Right.
you kind of just jumped in from the gate when you landed here. What are you going to do? How you're going to survive? And you figured it out. and not knowing, not having a plan, but you just made it work. And that, I mean, if you guys are listening now, watching this, that is an amazing like story of Anna right there. So,
Thank you.
and you
Mhm.
know, you let alone having a kid and your losses with, your husband. And so there's a lot of ups and downs, of course, but I think, that made you stronger,
Yes.
one, and made you confident that you could achieve just about anything that you put your mind to. And, I've known you for a while since you had joined the U and stuff. And I know I've seen your journey, and it's just been, it inspires me. So that's one of the reasons that we wanted you on here, right? Because
Yeah.
I think your story will inspire other people. And you know, I think it's just you need to share that. So I know you're really big on, connections and relationships.
Mhm.
You kind of shared your story of how you got into real estate. Now, how does that help your business in real estate, or your even, I think, your event space now? So you have several different entrepreneur ventures.
Mhm.
So can you tell us about, your connections and how you develop your connections?
Yeah, sure, sure. One thing I think I found out about me, because every day you learn something different about you, right? Um, I'm very compassionate. I love people. I love to connect with people in every stage of life. I like to listen to people and connect in some kind of way. So one thing that for sure, I love to invest in myself. We ladies, we like the hair done, the nails done, the
Right.
lashes. But I think investing in your self development is so important, right? So whenever I get a chance to go somewhere to learn, I'm there. If it's out of state or if it's in town, it's a meetup, it's something that is going to help me to grow. So when I get to, it's important to get to those rooms, right? Gotta
Right.
get to those rooms if you're trying to grow in some
100%.
capacity in life. So when I'm somewhere, even if it's a grocery store, if it's a class, whatever, I try to connect with people, either to add value or to learn something from them. And I think relationships is like a plant. If you have a plant, you gotta water it. You gotta put some
Mm,
fertilizer. Don't let it die. Like I try to stay, I like send text or check on somebody and grow their relationship, because you never know. You never know the bridge that you are creating, that you are forming. So I think that's one of my strengths. I love to in the business that I am, being a hairstylist, I'm constantly listening to people, and there I'm sure there are great hairstylists in town that do better things than I do, but there's something that I can offer that nobody else can. We have
Right.
different, everybody has a different fingerprint. So there's something about me that somebody might connect. So I have clients that's been with me for over 15, 17 years, and we have good relationships. And now that I have an event space, yeah, I got to talk about my baby too. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Pandemic baby. I have an event space, special moments venue. I gave birth to the idea during the pandemic, and then again, I keep my ears open for opportunities. And when I saw Nehemiah Dave, shout out to Neo, another mentor of mine. He came on an Instagram promoting an event space. I said, that sounds like another real estate idea. So I just jump into it, start looking for buildings. I invested on a class, and I start participating on the mastermind, learn that, and I implement it, because you have to take the leap of faith, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't want to let the fear of the pandemic stop me from achieving something great. And I'm glad I did. So, going back to your question, Tim, yes, I love to connect with people, and maintaining those relationships is definitely one of my strengths. And I love meeting people. I love, learning from people. And they has helped me with real estate, with the event
Mhm.
space, with the salon. And so I'm grateful for everybody that comes into my life, and I'm very careful who is in my circle as well,
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful with energy vampires and people that are gonna trying to shut
Right.
down, because some people will, if you're not careful, they will project their fears on you.
Mm.
So you have to,
Absolutely.
yeah, you have to protect your energy. You have to protect your space. I am here on a mission, and I know that. And I have located my why. My why is to generate wealth. My why is to break generational curses in my family of poverty, and I was
Mm.
the chosen one. So I cannot allow
Mm.
fear or negativity to come into my camp and distract me from what I'm here for. So,
Love that.
That's huge. I love that. I think a lot of times we let the fears and projections of other people of their
mhm,
fears onto us. We allow that to happen, and I love how you say energy vampires because it really is that, and we allow that, and we're essentially blocking ourselves like from the potential that we do have. And
mhm.
you right off the bat had that discipline to once you commit to something, you're like, I'm going all the way through, and not many people do that. Not, a lot of people like to add a lot of things on their plate, and then they just end up doing nothing, right? But for
Wow.
you, right, like you were able to, you found an interest in something, you saw the vision, and then
Mm-hmm.
you committed to it. And I think that's huge. But my main question was, with all that, you have a lot going on, the event space, you're a single mother, you have a flip, you're doing a wholesaling business. Like, how do you keep that balance, like, without getting overwhelmed?
Right behind me. Boom.
Top of the globe, got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, this girl right here will stop and travel.
Yes,
Travel
I've
is
seen
my
that.
passion. I'm very big in self care. You cannot operate on an empty tank, and I realize that. I love taking care of me, and I'm teaching my son as well. I think that's one of my main goal is to build a legacy for Isaac. I tell him all the time, it's just me and you. We're a team, but I teach him how to stop and smell the flowers, because at the
Mm.
Mm,
end of the day, without your health, without your mental health, there's not many things that you can achieve, right? And so I'm like, taking care of me and have a balanced life is very important. um Money is good, y'all, but it's really not everything. My main goal is to, is on top of my vision board. It's like I want to be healthy, happy, and have peace, and of course
mm,
wealth. But
right,
I love me. I How are you gonna expect somebody to love you and you don't even like yourself?
Yeah.
right.
So I
Yeah.
love
Hundred
That's
me,
percent.
and I tell my clients and people that I come across, people that cross paths with me, I tell them all the time. I said, this is only one chance we have here. How are you gonna go through life unhappy? So do what makes you happy. Do what makes your soul glow. And one thing
right.
that I love, like you asked me, how do you balance everything? I will purchase a plane ticket. I will travel somewhere and see the ocean, or I can go down the street and sit in a park and read a book.
Mm.
Just do something that makes me happy, makes me at peace, and then that fills my tank. I pray, I meditate. Oh, let's not forget, I'm in the gym every day.
Mm.
And I hear you every
Yep.
morning.
Hey,
I hear
every
it.
morning. There you
And
go.
on
Help
the
Getting that
yourself.
workout in.
elliptical
Getting that workout
treadmill.
in.
It's a
I love
journey.
that.
It's not easy. Yeah, I tell, I one day I want to do something for single mothers, because
Mm.
I'm there. I know how it is. Like, and I don't have any family here. All my
Mm.
family is in Brazil. So
Yeah.
whatever chance I get, I'm at home with them. I'll take a trip home. But being here, trying to balance, businesses and help my son to be a strong black male in this society,
Mm,
is work. It is a
right.
lot of work. So,
Yeah.
but I am in. Like I committed. I'm committed. Like you
Yeah.
gotta commit first and figure it out later, right? That's what I've been
Hmm.
doing for
Right. It
25
starts
years.
with
So
you. It starts with
Yep.
yeah,
you first.
that's
And
true.
I love what you said, because it kind of goes back to something I've always heard, and I've been repeating it to myself, is you have to be selfish before you become unselfish. You have to be
That's a
selfish
lot.
with yourself, with the love you give yourself, with the goals you set for yourself, It all starts with you. That's you. That's all you. Like, don't let anybody tell you you're selfish because of the goals you want to strive for. Once you get to a certain place, like you talked about, I want to
Mhm.
help single mothers. That's where the unselfishness comes in, right? Because you've already
Mhm.
kind of committed to your goals, and now you're like, okay, I want to give everything. Like, I want to give what been able to work towards.
Exactly.
Um, and I love how you committed to yourself and self care, because we've also talked about this too on the podcast. Is, entrepreneurial, you see on Instagram, it's like go go go, no
Mhm.
days off, keep
Mhm.
grinding, which, there's no problem, like you have to do that, but you also have to, it's a marathon, it's the
It's a
long game.
marathon. It's a
You have to
marathon.
you
Mhm.
can't commit to that, and that's why we see, and I love that you mentioned, because I have it here in my vision board. I have love, happiness, health, patience,
Wow.
and wealth.
Yeah.
Like, those are like my main, like, kind of key words that I live by, especially going into this year.
Mhm.
But your biggest thing is committing to yourself, committing
Mhm.
to your son. It starts with you. So I just love that. I just wanted to point that out, because it's bigger than that. It's bigger than the money. You have to take care of yourself. I mean,
You
that's why
do.
you see people, entrepreneurs in their 40s, because they grinded it out
Mhm.
so hard that they're dying of heart attacks,
Oh
high
man.
blood
Yeah.
pressure, especially in
Yes.
our,
Yeah.
Black and brown communities. And so
Wow.
it's really important that you take care of yourself. Like, take that time off, take a weekend, go for a walk, find
Mhm.
find your vacation anywhere. You don't have to
Anywhere.
travel. So I just love that you're like, hey, it doesn't matter if I'm going for a walk at the park and reading, or traveling. Although, going to the beach,
Yeah, you
having a
can't beat that. You can't
cocktails,
beat
you
the
can't
beat.
beat that.
Come on now.
Yeah, you gotta be happy. That's what we're here for.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna live a life like one thing that my pastor says, and I carry that with me. You cannot change what you tolerate. You
Mm,
cannot change what you
Yeah.
tolerate. And a lot of people tolerating situations and people, and they not, they in situations that is causing health issues. So make a
Mhm.
decision.
right.
What do you
Yeah.
want? You
Yeah.
know? And so that's how I live my life. Foreigners are different. Like I came
Mhm.
from South America, third world country. Some families don't have a whole lot, but we make time for ourselves. We make time to
Mhm.
love. We make time to connect with people. And I think I carried my culture here, and that's why it's so easy to
Right.
meet people.
Mhm.
It's a Brazilian thing,
It's
and
it's
I
a
love
different
that.
vibe.
It's a
It's a
different
different
vibe.
vibe. Like,
I
seeing a
love it.
third world country is, like, for me, my dad is Peruvian, so I visited
Oh,
Peru a
okay.
lot, growing up. Almost every summer, I used to spend time. And so very early on, seeing a third world country from that perspective, like, it humbles you, right? Even as a kid, I was
Mhm.
like, although our family would always think, and I think we talked about this on the morning call before, like, they think we're super rich, and, like,
Hmm.
just because we live in America, you think we're really rich? I don't know about
Right.
that. But, like, visiting a third world country where you're seeing kids my age selling gum, or selling,
Oh
like,
yeah,
you just look
Mhm.
you just see things from a much different perspective. And so having that immigrant sort of mentality where you just
mhm,
grind it out, and seeing my parents go through that, it kind of instills in me of, like, I'm an
exactly.
immigrant too, in a way. Like, I'm an
Yeah.
extended, like, immigrant. And so I'm sure Isaac probably feels that way too, seeing his mom, like, putting in the work, putting in like the love into yourself. I think
Right.
that goes a long way.
And some
Mhm.
days, I know some days Isaac is like, I'm gonna send you back to Brazil, mom.
Yeah,
I am that mom. I said, okay, we are renovating a property. Isaac, Saturday morning, you are gonna help me to do this and do that. And we drive for dollars. I have
Mhm.
him on the phone sometimes, keep trace and help me because why building a legacy and not teach them?
Exactly.
right.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
And
Because one day I won't be here, but hopefully he can carry on because I'm doing for him anyway. So
right.
as a parent, as a foreigner parent, parent, I get him involved because
Mhm.
we gotta teach them how to fish.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna earn, brother, or you're
Yeah.
gonna work with me. And
Yeah,
but
no
we got
handouts here.
No, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's no silver spoon. I take him to Brazil. He been to Brazil. Isaac has been to Brazil over 15 times, and he sees it. How
Right.
it's
Yeah.
life over there for some people, and he sees the best and the ugly. And
Yeah.
so I'm teaching him how to be grateful and how to, be driven. And that's really something that you cannot teach, but he sees it, with
Hmm.
action, what I'm doing,
Right.
what I'm building, and what I am about. So it's been great. I
Yeah.
real estate. I wanna thank you, for the charged up you, being a community with my, same people, the same mentality, chasing their dreams as well. So I love being with the group and learning, and I have met some amazing people. Like, I never met you guys in person, but it feels like we've been
I know
Right.
friends
we've known each
forever,
other for
We're
a
right?
while.
family.
Yeah.
We're
We're
family.
Yeah. Family.
family. So, if anybody's trying to get into real estate, I say go for it. It's tangible, it's here. Listen,
Hmm.
there is no excuse, guys. If I am doing it and I came here as a tourist, there is really no excuses. You can do it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
it's yeah, opportunities are everywhere, but I think that our society, we erase them. you know
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm.
overlook the opportunities. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so, and I, by going to different conferences and seminars, I'm collecting this information. But what are we doing with that?
Mm.
I
Yeah.
start applying perfect actions, like
Yeah.
massive action.
Action is the key.
I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me that I can buy a discounted property, and this property can be on my monopoly board, and it
Hmm.
can
Right.
generate passive income?
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. I don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna take, but I'm gonna try it. You don't know until you
Hey.
try it. And
Hey.
I think people are afraid to fail. Like,
Oh,
failure is
absolutely.
it scares a lot of people. But I thank God, analysis paralysis is like,
Hmm.
is not something that I'm trying to entertain. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to buy a first property like 2 years ago. I negotiated with this seller. I had saved some of my assignments fees, put it aside, and when I came across this house, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna keep that one." Because my dream was to get the check while I'm sleeping or while I'm at the beach somewhere.
Hmm.
And so I'm thankful that I was able to rehab that property. I purchased the property for $18,000. Now the property is worth 115,000.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's like, and my son sees it,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's working.
Yeah.
So it's really, when you put in the work, results will follow.
100%. 100%.
So I'm in it. I'm committed.
Yeah, I've seen Isaac do some renovations as well on some of those projects too. I've seen him at work. So, um, and that was the thing when I first met you, is that you already had some properties down, and and then now you had one that's a is a short term rental, but it's a long term rental. You did some Airbnb a little bit too with your properties and stuff.
Mhm,
So, like, you have owned properties, and you were still wholesaling at the time too. So I think I think we had a conversation about that, and I was just reinforcing you that you're ahead of a lot of people, because a lot of people wanted to get to where you're at in owning property, right?
mhm.
And you were still trying to scale your wholesaling business,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And but I had to get you to understand is that a lot of people want to achieve what you've already achieved. And so your wholesaling business is just an added revenue stream for
Mhm.
your collective
Yeah,
entrepreneurship, right?
yeah.
So I think as you continue to put pieces on your monopoly board in real life, I
Yes.
think you're doing all the right things in doing that, and along the way teaching valuable lessons to Isaac, because
Mhm,
he sees it on a daily basis, like how you, even from when he was little to where he's now, like he's seen you always working and always providing and always um, having fun too,
mhm.
right?
Yes.
Taking him on vacations and
He's
doing
a
all the right
published
things.
author too, Tim. I told you, did
See,
I tell you that? Yeah, Isaac has
he
published two
I
books.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit more. You're an author too. Look, come on. Well, you're going to be an author
Right.
too.
I'm
So,
working on my book. Yeah,
Right.
I'm working on my life story as we speak. I gotta get it out. I've gotta share because
Yes, you
it's,
do.
oh my goodness, guys. Oh, it is truly inspiring. Inspires me when I think about from cleaning houses to buying houses. I'm like, man,
mm,
I was
I
like,
think that was a title.
That's
I
a
think that was
title,
a
right? I was just
title.
say that's a title right there.
like, humble beginnings. And I'm still very humble. I'm like, God ain't through with me yet. There's gotta be more. And I just want people to don't give up on your dreams. Do not give up on yourself. Keep going. It is possible. Lock
Yeah.
in. Everything is right here. It is a mindset. You got, as you think, you are. That's what the Bible
Mm-hmm.
says. As a man thinks, so is he. What you
Mm,
entertain right here, you will become. So I'm like, okay, I gotta keep going because I have a whole family in Brazil that is, watching me. That is, you know, it's so much. But anyway, so Isaac, during our losses, during the challenges, I said, I one thing about me, I like to expose Isaac. So I'm not big and buy the latest tennis shoes or the latest Xbox. I said, no, we're going to invest on a plane ticket and we're going to go outside of the United States so you can see other
Mm.
cultures,
mm.
currencies,
I
how they
love that.
live. So he has been all over the world, literally. Isaac has been to Europe, to Asia with me, everywhere. So I said, you know what? Yeah, write a book about your adventures, inspire other kids.
Mm.
Mm.
So he published Isaac's Adventures in Paris and Isaac's
Uh,
Adventures in Brazil.
love it.
And the
A whole
book really
collection.
helps. Yeah. So we want to do like a series of book. And with that, it opened doors for him to go to different events, to schools, to events in the city. And he has spoke into he spoke on a graduation last year.
Oh my gosh, this
I'm
is
like,
Wow.
amazing.
I said, let's
That's
go, let's
amazing.
get it. I'm
Let's do it.
I'm pushing him to
Mhm.
step into his gifts, and what he does when he grows up is up to him. But as a parent, I'm trying to teach him now and laying the foundation. One thing that I do with Isaac, we do our own book club readings at home. I have him reading The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. I have
Mhm.
him reading Rich Dad and Poor Dad. And he told me the other day, he said, you know what, Mom, I don't think I want to be in a rat race.
Mm.
I need to, I need to have my own freedom. And so hopefully he will carry on. But as a mom, I wanted him to understand the importance of investing in yourself and obtaining financial freedom. Because, hey, listen, we're not going to wait for retirement to live a good life.
No.
That's
No,
ghetto.
not in our
Mhm.
60s. No.
No,
No.
no, no. I said, listen, no, we enjoying life right now because tomorrow we don't know. We don't know the tomorrow.
Right.
So, but we have to put in the work now, and go for it. Go after
Mhm.
your dreams and your goals and be around positive people. That's another big thing with me. Be around people
Right.
that, will push you
Yeah.
instead of,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
so, and trust God, trust the process and, and go for it. That's my main
Yeah,
thing.
I love that. I love that you're teaching Isaac not to invest or spend on materialistic things or
Mhm.
material things, but investing in experiences.
Mm.
Yes.
So I think that's a huge thing, especially for a 14-year-old. Like all the 14-year-olds now are like, oh, you cop the J's, you copped the Louis Vuitton, like it's all on like materialistic stuff. Oh, you caught the Lamborghini. It's all that, and you're really enriching Isaac with values, like true values of becoming like a complete human being, right? Like
Yeah.
incorporating love experiences, and
Mm.
that's a testament to you as a mother. And I know it hasn't been easy. You said sometimes Isaac wants to send you
Woo.
back to Brazil.
Oh, I
Raising
know
a
that.
teenage son, I'm sure is not, as a single mother, is not It's not easy at all, but you make it happen just like you make it happen. I mean, like anything, right? Like being a mother, it's you take the same approach as an entrepreneur. You just figure it out, take
Mhm.
action on it, learn from, what your experience. But, I think that's the biggest thing is investing in experiences, in invest
Mhm.
in like taking that time to you know, be surrounded because the money's gonna come, but
Yes.
it's the money isn't everything, right? We talk about
Yeah.
that. So it's like
Yeah.
living with a purpose, and that's just not taught, especially, or it isn't talked about enough, I feel like.
It's not.
Es
Yeah.
Yeah.
The when I opened the event space, I opened the event space last year. It was scary, but I knew that that was a great opportunity. That's something that I love. Be around people, create happy memories. And I said, you know what, Isaac, with the venue, you can host events for some of the teenagers, and I want to host actually next month. I'm hosting a cancer survivor brunch. I'm giving back to
Mm,
the community in honor of some of the survivors in town, and just shower them with love, and you know provide some live music and a brunch. And I just wanted them to feel encouraged through their journey, because it's a lot. So I said,
Yeah.
if God is putting us in the position to help someone else, let's do it.
mm.
you
Right.
know
I love that. I love
let's
that.
do it. So I'm gonna share with you guys the logo and the brochure and everything, that I'm putting together. But it is, I'm very grateful for um, taking the leap of faith that I took, and be here at this moment right now. I have a lot to learn, especially in real estate. But it's definitely a humble experience to see the fruits of your hard work, your labor.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, when I think about years ago, it was just a dream, and now I'm in it.
Mhm.
And
Right.
somebody
Yeah.
else might just be motivated just by hearing that, you know, the outcome of what I've done is like, you go through life really to help someone else. And
Yeah.
that's how I see my journey.
Mhm.
Just to help somebody else to, hey, you can do it. There is really no excuses. If you
Yeah.
woke up this morning, you're in your sound mind, you got an assignment, you got work to do. So let's go.
Right. Right.
You know, it's funny because we were talking before, we got on the podcast and stuff, and you talked about your vision board from back when,
4 years
and
ago.
yep, and you found it, and you are doing the things that, you know, there you go, doing
Yeah,
exactly what your
I had
vision
this on
board
my
says.
vision board. Yeah. When I put this on my vision board, I was facing a foreclosure. I was on a negative. My husband passed away, didn't have life insurance. So I had to come up with the funeral arrangement money. So it was a mess. But I said, you know what, Isaac? He was crying and missing his dad. I said, let's create a vision board. Let's put some stuff on the vision board that we're gonna do it. We're gonna have it. So I had it here. I found this on a magazine and I cut it like renovation, real
Mhm.
estate, property, and then I put it on top of my vision board, winner. And then I had a little flyer that I was placing in people's cars, like we buy house cash.
Mm.
Guys, all this is happening today.
Yeah.
You
That's
have to
awesome.
visualize, so you have to see it before
Right.
you see it.
Right. Right.
You know
Right.
what I
Oh,
mean? Act like
exactly.
you're already in the moment, like you're doing it. You gotta visualize. Another thing that I'm very big on is affirmations. We say our
Mhm.
affirmations every day, because
Mm.
you know faith talks. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
have to speak into existence. That's how God created the world. Be
Exactly.
light, and there was
Mhm.
light. So hey, be houses. Consistency.
Right.
Have
Right.
You have to live
money.
like you already have it. Like you already
Right.
have it. Yeah.
Exactly.
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 And one thing that I learned from one of my mentors, he said, repeat this: money comes to us easily, frequently, abundantly.
Mhm.
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 And watch it happens.
Yep.
Today is the most
Exactly.
magnificent day of my life. Health, wealth,
Right.
happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money comes to me abundantly, in abundance. So even if you don't see it, I was broke. I had lost
Mm-hmm.
my house, but somehow I put this on my vision board. I'm a real estate investor, and it
I
came to
love it.
pass. So have
Yep.
faith, believe in yourself, trust the process, and do not quit. Cannot
Yeah.
give up.
So, what's next for you then? What's next? What's on the next chapter?
Well, the next chapter also is remaining healthy and happy always. And I want to write my book. I want to finish my book and publish my book. And I want to go places and share my story and sell my books and give my book away and help other people to people that are stuck, people that are afraid. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I come across a lot of women also that are like, Anna, girl, how did you do it? How did you open up a venue? How did you get funding? How you get Isaac to write a book? So I wanted my son to do that. I want to do that, but they are just afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Take
Mm-hmm.
first step. Just take one
Exactly.
step, 1%. Do something every day, just a little. Compound effect. Don't. But
Mm-hmm.
the
Right.
main thing is to deal with fear. And I think in my book, I'm gonna share, the journey of um not listening to the naysayers and just believing the power within you and chase what you want. Well, not chase, attract what you want. I'm
Mm.
correct.
Right.
And just I want to publish my book. I want to help other people, and I also want to invest in real estate in Brazil and create jobs there.
Mm.
Mm.
That's dope. I
Yeah,
love that.
that's happening.
You're already making it happen. It's already
Yes,
there.
Yeah, it's already there. It's
coming.
it's, it's coming.
It's
It's
coming.
coming.
Yeah. I'm
I love
excited
it.
about it. I can truly say that I feel happy about where I am right now, being a single mom, being free, you know, and just helping other people. That's one of my main goals.
I love it. And you're making it happen. And you know, I know you were feeling a little nervous coming on here, but I was telling you, I'm like, if you're feeling uncomfortable, this is
In the right
exactly
place.
it. Right. It's like, you're a testament of being uncomfortable, just figure it out. Right.
Mhm.
And so it's been such a pleasure like having you on here
Thank you,
and
Yeah,
sort of
Claudia.
seeing like hearing your story is super
I know.
inspiring, inspires
Thank you,
me
Tim.
every time I hear it. Because it's just like, you know, I think, like you said, people get comfortable and
Mm-hmm.
people don't work to their full potential. And I
Hmm.
hope after hearing your story, they feel inspired to chase their dreams, or not even chase, but have their dreams come true and just make it happen. How can people reach you? Like, if they want to connect or network or whatever, or have questions, like what's the best way to reach you?
Oh yeah, sure.
Or
I'll be glad.
or book an event space. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, my I have a venue. My event space on my page. My Instagram is Special Moments Venue. Is here in Winston Salem, North Carolina. My Instagram, my personal Instagram is Anna Redfearn. I think you have it there, Gladia.
Yeah, it should all be in the show notes, I
Yes,
believe.
Anna Redfern. And I'm open. If you have a group of young ladies you wanted me to come and share my story, I would be glad to. I would love. I get nervous, but hey, I gotta be me. If I can help somebody else, I will
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
So I have an event space, and I have a hair salon also that is located here in Winston Salem. Right now, I have young ladies there renting booths from me because I'm not there all the time like I used to. I had shift a little bit. So and so it's Anna Redfern, my Instagram, Facebook, Anna also, Anna Redfern, my Instagram, for my event space, Special Moments Venue. This is my first venue. My goal is to have a bigger venue. My current event space, I can accommodate up to 90 guests, but it has been successful, thank God. I've had events every weekend since last February.
Mm.
It's
Wow.
Blessings.
it's great. The families can come and host their birthdays, bridal showers, retirement dinners, or repasts, wedding receptions. So it has been, you know, it has been busy. I'm grateful, and but I think that very soon I'm gonna give birth to a bigger one
I
because
love that.
I already know it. I already know
I
it.
go
Yeah, you
higher.
are.
I go higher.
Exactly. Hey, hey, we can't forget Isaac. So you got to plug his
Oh
books.
yeah. So yeah,
Right.
Isaac's Many Adventures on Instagram. Isaac's Many
Okay, we'll make
Adventures.
sure to add that to the show notes as well, for anybody interested, for their kids want to
Also,
buy a book
Exactly.
for them.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very inspiring. It's very it's motivating too. And when I release my book, I'll let you guys know. Hopefully I'll come back and share.
Abs Not hopefully, you
You
will,
guys.
you will.
Yeah, you will. Don't worry. You'll be on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. This has been wonderful.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you and everything you've accomplished, and no, we will definitely have you back next year or whenever,
100%.
especially when you have that event space. But appreciate everybody who tuned in,
Thank you.
commented. We hope you got a lot out of this, because
I
we
hope
sure
so.
did. Yeah, we just wishing you guys a great rest of your week. We'll be back next Wednesday, regular time, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. But this has been splendid. I feel pumped up. I'm ready to
I
roll.
do
Hope
too.
all you guys are. You guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to y'all later.
Thank
Peace.
you.